ever feel like you're supposed to have it all figured out by now? Yeah, I was feeling that way just a week ago. Like you're supposed to have your success, your relationships, your financial, your purpose all figured out. But let me tell you something, you don't have to have it all figured out. All you need is a plan of action. You don't have to know all of the details. So today I'm going to share with you some of the thoughts that went through my head when I was having that same exact feeling, and how I shift from being confused to having a moment of clarity without having all of the answers. Was having the pressure of having it all together. Whew, that one nearly took me out. And it's because I look and I see so many people and I'm like, they have it all figured out. They know what they're going to do. They have the plan in action. Look at what they're doing. And then I take a look at my life and I feel like I should be further along in the age that I am. I should be further along when how the time frame I gave myself. You have all of these thoughts going through your head and you're just trying to organize them. That's what I call it. When I have thought overload, I try to organize my thoughts. But I also have to realize we live in a world that glorifies overnight success. However, don't realize the trial and error or the backstory on how they got there. We look at these people on Instagram, we look at people in real life and we're like, they have it all together, but do you know what it took for them to get there? No. And once I actually realized that and said, you know what, they got it together, I aspire to be like that. However, I'm going to give myself grace. You have to be in a point where you realize that most of the people that you admire, they didn't have clarity when they first started either. It came over time when they sat down and had a plan. Overnight success is rare. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. However, what I am saying is that it's very rare. So what you need to do is figure out a plan on how you can move forward, because most of the time the people that you know have moved forward without having it all mapped out. And that's what I want to see. So the problem doesn't lie that you don't know everything, but it's more so you waiting to figure it out is keeping you from even taking the first step. So clarity comes from action and not overthinking. So stop overthinking. Okay, my second thought that helped me was you need a plan, not perfection. Because I am a perfectionist down to the bone, I want to have every single detail before I even start. That's just something that I have been helping myself through. But a lot of people, they think they have to have the perfect plan in order to even start, and that's how you get stuck. You're trying to figure out even this YouTube channel. I was like, okay, everything has to be perfect. I gotta get the right camera. I gotta get the right setup. I gotta get the right lighting. But at a certain point, you just have to start. And that's what I had to tell myself. You know what? Just start and you will, over time, get better. If you're looking at a new skill, at first you're like, okay, well, I need this. I gotta have this. If you're looking into skating, I wanted to skate and I said, well, I gotta have the top of the line skates. I gotta have the knee pads, the elbow pads, the help. I mean, yeah, you need all that safety equipment. However, I just needed to start. If I didn't have the skates, go to a skating rink, borrow some. But the plan is for you to start. Without starting, you're never going to make progress. That's something you have to realize. Without starting, you're never going to make progress. The goal is to have a direction, not the entire roadmap. Just for you guys to realize that is the goal. You're not going to have everything figured out, and it's okay. It's completely okay. Think of it as a GPS. When you put in your destination in GPS, there's different routes that you can take to get you there. You don't need to see the entire journey. You just need to know what turn to make when, right? And sometimes you'll get rerouted, things will happen. But the important thing is you're on that journey with the GPS. You're on the journey. If they showed you a map of the entire thing, that would be fine, but it's better. People go to that point of view where it shows you on the road And that's what you need. Stop looking at it holistically and start looking at it piece by piece and putting it all together. That will help you. So I started to ask myself 3 simple questions. The first question is, what do you want? Simple. It sounds very simple. However, it's the most difficult question for me because it was, what do I want emotionally, mentally? See, I'm an overthinker, but I broke everything down so I could have a little bit of clarity on where I wanted to go next. So it's not just business-wise, it's feeling-wise, more peace, success, love, freedom. But overall, what is it that you want? What do you want to achieve? Then the second question is, what's one small step that you can take within the next 7 days to achieve that? That will help you come up with a plan. That's the second question. The third question, who or what can help me stay on track to hold me accountable? Now, I know, people say it all the time. Don't tell anybody what you're doing until you are done. But you're missing out on a vital part of accountability. I'm not saying blast it out to the world, but what I am saying is tell a mentor, maybe a friend, a family member, someone who can keep you accountable to the goals that you are setting and what it is that you want to achieve. Now, don't go, asking Negative Nancy. Ask someone who will really give you life and motivate you to push towards your goal, even if it's not perfect. Instead of worrying about the entire Picasso, how about you just pick up that brush, dip it in paint, and make that first stroke? Don't overthink about it. Don't overthink about it at all. Just start. And the only way you're going to start is picking up that paintbrush, dipping it in paint. Don't even overanalyze what paint to use. Just dip it in paint and start with your first stroke. The last one is the power of pivoting. This one was good because my plan, in my mind, I thought my plan was final. But your plan will constantly change depending on the circumstances that you run into on a daily basis as you're going upon this journey. Your plan is just a starting point. That doesn't mean that if one thing doesn't go right, you throw the entire plan away. No, what that means is you pivot. So the power of a pivot is really important for me. It's very powerful. There was times where I had a morning routine where I needed to get up at 5:30. When I woke up at 5:45, 6 o'clock, I said, you know what? I'm too late. I can't work out. But no, I'm not too late. I'm about 15-30 minutes later, but that just means that maybe I can't execute everything on my morning routine, but that doesn't mean throw it all away. You can't do that. No. Success is not about having one perfect plan, but adapting along the way to make it work. So once again, think about it as GPS. Sometimes when you're on that journey, you run into traffic, detours, and unexpected turns. Does that mean you just turn back around and go home? No. That means that it may take you a little bit longer, but you're still on that journey. The destination is still there. So it's still possible. So just make sure that you stay focused on that. The journey, the destination, and the route. It's going to be bumps in the road, but stay focused. Sometimes you might feel like you're lost, but you're not. And that's one of the things I had to shift my mind. I'm not lost when I don't know what to do next. I'm just learning along the way. You're troubleshooting, and that's okay as long as you're doing something, So I just want you to know you don't have to have it all figured out. You just need a plan, which is your starting point, and the courage to take the first step. The magic happens in movement, not in the waiting. I challenge you to take the first steps. So I want you to write down the answers to these questions. 1, what's one thing you want to work towards? 2, what's one step that you can take this week to achieve that goal? I hope that this helps you and it helps you understand that you don't have to have it all figured out. You just need a plan. And hopefully those tips will help you come up with a plan that's suitable for you. And remember, think of it like a GPS. You know your journey. Just enjoy the ride. See you next time. And make sure you subscribe for more. Bye.